Hello, I'm Karlene and I'm an immigration attorney. Today I want to talk to you about, is an EB-5 a green card? I'm going to talk to you about the EB-5 process, what you need to do, what you need to know, and to let you know that it is a way to become a permanent resident in the United States. At the end of this video, you will know what an EB-5 process is and how it's easy to get the permanent residence through the EB-5 process. It is not a temporary visa, it is a permanent visa. Is it true that if I have applied for my EB-5 visa and I get approved, that I need to wait until I get an approval to apply for my family? No. Remember that when you apply for the EB-5 process, you can include your family members, your spouse and your children below 21 years of age. You don't need to wait until you are a permanent resident to sponsor your family members. Your family members are automatically included in your process. The other question that I normally get about the EB-5 is, do I need to be from a specific country in order to apply for the EB-5? Well, this is the beauty of the EB-5. Any country, anyone from any country can apply. All you need to have is the funds. If you have over $1 million or a little bit under $1 million, $800,000, you can apply. It doesn't matter your race, your nationality, what country you're from. As long as you have the money to apply and you can apply and you find a viable business to invest in or to purchase, you can apply for the EB-5. What if I want to invest in a EB-5 approved company? Is that a better idea than just purchasing my own company? Really, it's a matter of preference. If you prefer to invest in a company so that you don't have to worry about managing the company, you don't have to worry about having 10 employees. You want, for example, many people invest in a hotel, and the hotel manages that kind of aspect for them, having the employees, having everything in order, having all the documents in order. If you prefer that, then by all means invest in that kind of a company. But if you feel like, well, if I'm going to make an investment of $800,000 or $1 million, I would rather that it be in my name so it can benefit me and my family. And that's okay too. Just remember that all immigration is asking, no matter where you invest, with an EB-5 center or you invest with in your own company, all immigration is asking that it's a viable company, that it works, that it's functioning, that it's contributing to the society, to the economy, that they're employees, that you can afford to maintain yourself apart from that investment. So in other words, you're not relying on the investment to support you. You have money elsewhere, or you have another way, or another means to maintain yourself while you're building and growing this EB-5 company. People have also asked me, can my family members work in the company? I would prefer that you have 10 employees that are separate, not necessarily your family members. But if you do have a family member working in the company, make sure that family member is working for 40 hours a week and you're paying the family members a salary and they're on a W-2, okay? No cash, nothing else like that, because immigration is going to check and immigration is going to want to make sure that every single thing and everything is in order. All the documents are in order. Is it true that I need to show immigration exactly where I got the money from to invest in an EB-5 company? Yes. That's one of the first questions that immigration has. When you apply for the EB-5, you need to show immigration where you got this money. Now, some people have that money in their bank account because they've been saving a long time to come up with $1 million to invest. Some people get it from their own jobs, from their own personal finances. Some people get it from a family member. If you have a family member who's willing to give you your parents, let's say, or an inheritance, and you get this $1 million and you want to invest it, you need to show immigration how you got that money. Now, I have a client who applied for an EB-5. At the time, all he needed to do, this was for 2022, all he needed to do was to show that he had invested $500,000 in a company. And he got a gift. He said that he got a gift from his grandmother who gave him $500,000 to invest. And that was beautiful. And he had a check written to him from his grandmother. But then when they checked out his grandmother's account, they found out that the grandmother didn't even have $500,000 in the account. What the grandmother did was she got a loan from uncle and then another uncle and then another uncle. And then she got this loan and then she gave a gift to her grandson. So for immigration purposes, that didn't look legitimate, that didn't look right, because what they wanted to see is that that grandmother had that money in her personal account and she gave it to her son, her grandson. It shouldn't be a loan, a loan 3 times over in order for it to be a gift. It has to be money from your personal account given to someone else to invest. So we have to be careful with the gift. It's also important that the manner in which you brought the money from your country to the United States is legitimate. So people have different ways of bringing money from their country. They hide it, they pay somebody else to bring the money here, and they have these exchange houses, that in different countries, and they exchange money some kind of weird way. So it's very important that you show that you got that money legally from your country, because if you didn't get the money out of your country legally to the United States, immigration is not going to accept it. So see, there are all these kinds of variables, all these kinds of situations where you need to have the money. Now, I also have people who say, well, I did invest $1 million. Really? That's great. Let's apply for the EB-5. And they'll say, no, but I invested cash. So I can ask my friend and he'll write a letter saying that I did invest a little bit over $1 million in his company. Well, that is not going to fly with immigration. Immigration doesn't want to see a friend write a letter, because then any friend could write a letter, right? So do not use cash. If you have money to invest in the United States and you want to invest and you want to buy a company for you to get your permanent residence, then if you have the cash, invest the cash, deposit the cash in the bank, and then use that money to buy the new company. Now, immigration is going to ask you about the cash. Where did you get the cash? As long as you can show them where you got it and you got it through legal means, then you'll be fine. Then you can apply, and chances are you'll get approved. But if you're going to use $1 million in cash and buy a company and you have no way of showing immigration how you got that cash, they're not going to approve it. They're very strict, and it's not just with this administration. They've always been strict. It's a code, it's a rule that the government has, that if you're going to use money to invest in the United States, you have to show where that money came from. And they're very strict about it, and we need to follow the rules in order to get this done correctly. I'm Karlene. I have 35 years of experience, and if you want to learn more about the EB-5, follow us on this channel. Subscribe to our channel, and we can help you. We can teach you more about this topic. Go to my video at the link above and at the description below, and we'll teach you more about the EB-5.